Hi, in this video I want to talk to you about vitamin B12. There's the many deficiencies that come about in our food supply, but this is a big one. The symptoms that come about from it, the causes of it, which is a huge thing to try to reverse it, and what to do naturally to support it. Hi, I'm Dr. Joe with 2 Minutes to Better Health. Well, vitamin B12, it's a big thing. A lot of people talk about it. Blood tests are done by a lot of doctors, so there's much more attention to it. But why are so many people finding themselves deficient in it? It's easy to get it in our food supply, but let's understand it a little bit better here, okay? So first of all, you have to understand, it's known as cobalamin. You'll see that on labels, cobalamin, methylcobalamin, cyanocobalamin. But ultimately, its primary function is in red blood cell formation. Now, this is key because red blood cells carry oxygen. Without it, a lot of things can happen to the body symptomatically. It's also very important in nerve function because it's vital in the myelin formation. That's the outer membrane, the wrapping around nerve endings, and if that's damaged in some way, that can have a lot of health consequences as well. So it's important for energy, cardiovascular support, a big thing for homocysteine levels to be balanced. So if people have cardiovascular diseases, you may want to run a homocysteine test, and B12 has a lot to do with that. It's important for memory and brain function because of the nerves, helps prevent birth defects, crucial for women that are pregnant or planning to become pregnant to have enough B12. Eye health because of the nerves, healthy mood because of that cognitive support, healthy skin, hair, and nails. So a lot of different things that it does. Now, deficiency symptoms, okay, now realize you don't need a lot of this in a daily supply, 2.4 micrograms per day. That's a very small amount, and we'll talk about some foods that are rich in it, but ultimately, if you are lacking in it, the deficiency symptoms are the worst case scenario, anemia. Megaloblastic anemia is a very gross deficiency of this, and you're often going to see a person with very pale looking complexion because they're not carrying enough oxygen and blood supplied to their skin, so they're going to have that kind of pale to yellowish color to their skin. Fatigue, weakness, this is huge, probably one of the first symptoms a person will experience. People with chronic fatigue, you definitely want to check this out if you're deficient in that possibly. Dizziness or shortness of breath, lack of oxygen to the brain. Pins and needles, this is a big one. A lot of people have neuropathies and chronic tingling in their hands or arms. They blame it on carpal tunnel and stuff, but it's often a B12 deficiency, so that's a big thing. Balance coordination issues, again, because of the lack of oxygen. Poor memory, confusion, dementia, this is a big thing. You're not carrying oxygen to the brain, it's not going to work well. The nerves won't work well either because of that myelin deficiency that's being produced. Emotional mood swings, again, the body's going to be all out of sorts without that oxygen. And digestive issues, constipation, leaky gut, as well as many other things from it. You can look this up as well yourself. So what are the causes? This is a big thing. I really want people to understand this as much as anything because it's not just about supplementing forever with large doses of this. It's about finding out why are you deficient. Senior populations, it's a big thing. People over 60 years of age, it's estimated that at least 1/3 of people are deficient in B12. So that's a large percentage. In large part because digestive problems start to occur later on in life. In large part, I believe, because hydrochloric acid production decreases as we get older and because of other stressors. Intrinsic factor is also an important part of it. For you to absorb B12 from the food that you eat, you need to be producing intrinsic factor in your stomach or taking it externally to absorb it properly. Without it, the B12 goes right through you. You're not going to absorb it, so you can take mega doses and not have much benefit. If you have acid reflux or GERD, I can almost guarantee that you have this. Low hydrochloric acid, is basically going to contribute to reflux and GERD, so definitely that's a big cause of it. Heartburn medicines and antacid users. So people that feel like they have too much acid, usually they don't have enough. By suppressing that acid, you're going to suppress the ability to digest B12 as well as damage the ability to make that intrinsic factor, big thing. If you've had gastric bypass of any sorts, in most cases people have to supplement with B12 because it affects your ability to produce those as well and absorb it big time. And many different medications have can affect deficiency. So look at the labels on your medicines to see if it's causing you to have a deficiency. So if you are, you're definitely going to want to supplement with that. So what do you do? Well, it's in meats mostly. So basically, if you're eating meats and you're digesting well, you're going to have sufficient amounts of it. But organ meats, liver has tons of it. 3,000% of the recommended daily ounce in 3 ounces. Now, many people don't eat that, but if you had one small serving of it, it's going to have a huge benefit for you. Organ grass-fed meats, that's huge. Eggs, wild-caught fish, organic free-range meat. Now you can look, one egg, for instance, has 25% of the recommended daily allowance. That's a pretty good amount of it, but fish, usually one serving is enough for the whole day. Meats, the same thing, preferably chicken, beef, lamb that are free-range, healthy animals, healthy nutrition. Organic grass-fed dairy, that also has a fair amount of it in it. Nutritional yeast. Now, if you're vegan or vegetarian, I definitely recommend you use nutritional yeast. 1 tablespoon per day will give you 100% of the recommended daily allowance, so that's a good source. A B complex. If you're going to take B12, I recommend it as a B complex, not B12 by itself. I don't recommend isolated B vitamins at all, but definitely try to use it as a with intrinsic factor, preferably. They often add the intrinsic factor if your body's not making it by itself. If it's added to the supplement, you'll absorb it better. Basically, B12 supplement, if you're going to do that specifically by itself, it should be sublingual or a spray. You'll absorb it better for sure. And definitely work on improving your digestion. If your digestion stays off, you're going to continue to need large doses of it, big issues. So work on pro and prebiotics, increase your fiber intake, hydrochloric acid pills can be taken with meals, break down those meats better, absorb the B12 better. Digestive enzymes are key, apple cider vinegar, fermented foods, kimchi, all sorts of different things like that can help tremendously. So look at this list, try some of them for yourself. If you take it for a while, supplement maybe higher doses, 200 to 400 micrograms per day is recommended, but after a while you shouldn't need that much. You should get it through your food, improve the digestion, improve the B12 absorption. Hope this was helpful. Look forward to seeing you in a future video. Have a great day.